In the vast history of maritime exploration, few stories capture the imagination quite like the ill-fated expedition of Sir John Franklin. Set against the backdrop of the 19th century British imperial ambition, this Arctic voyage represents a profound testament to human endurance, scientific curiosity, and the unforgiving nature of one of the world's most hostile environments. Hello, and welcome to Deadliest Disasters, where we cover some of the most devastating events that happened throughout history. The mid-19th century was the golden age of exploration, with nations competing to chart unknown territories and discover new trade routes. For the British Royal Navy, the Northwest Passage represented the ultimate maritime prize, a potential shortcut through the Arctic that would revolutionize global trade. Captain Sir John Franklin, a seasoned naval officer with previous Arctic experience, was chosen to lead an expedition that promised to solve this geographical puzzle. In May 1845, Franklin departed from England with two specially adapted ships, the HMS Erebus and HMS Terror. These vessels were technological marvels of their time, reinforced with thick wooden hulls and equipped with innovative steam engines that could be used when wind conditions were unfavorable. The ships carried 129 carefully selected crew members, including experienced officers, skilled sailors, and scientific personnel. Their mission was clear: navigate the treacherous Arctic waters, map the remaining uncharted sections of the Northwest Passage, and return triumphant. The expedition's initial stages seemed promising. The ships were last sighted in July 1845 by whaling vessels in Baffin Bay, with the crew reportedly in good spirits. After this point, silence descended. Years would pass before any concrete information about the expedition's fate would emerge. As months turned into years without communication, concern grew. The British Admiralty launched multiple search expeditions, driven by both humanitarian concern and national pride. These early search missions faced extraordinary challenges. The Arctic's vast frozen landscape is unimaginably hostile, a labyrinth of ice, snow, and isolated terrain that could easily conceal the fate of an entire expedition. After years of no contact, theories about the crew's demise began to emerge, each more haunting than the last. The environmental challenges alone were formidable. Arctic winters bring temperatures plummeting to minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, with near continuous darkness and ice that can crush wooden ships like matchsticks. Archaeological and historical evidence suggests the ships became trapped in sea ice, likely near King William Island, forcing the crew into a desperate survival situation. Forensic and archaeological investigations have revealed multiple potential causes of the expedition's failure. One of the most compelling theories involves widespread lead poisoning. The expedition's innovative canned food supplies, which was cutting-edge technology for the time, were sealed with lead-soldered containers. Modern analysis of recovered remains shows extremely high lead levels, which could have caused severe neurological damage, impairing the crew's decision-making and physical capabilities. Compounding their challenges, the crew likely suffered from scurvy, malnutrition, and potentially other diseases. Limited food resources and the extreme environment would have gradually weakened even the hardiest sailors. Some of the most controversial evidence suggests the ultimate desperate measure of cannibalism, though this remains a sensitive and debated aspect of the expedition's story. Bones from some of the sailors had what looked to be cut marks from sharp objects on them, suggesting that some of the survivors had butchered and eaten the dead. Inuit oral histories, long overlooked by European researchers, provided crucial early insights. Local inhabitants spoke of seeing European men wandering in the wilderness, seeing abandoned camps, and of the ultimate fate of those who could not survive. These Inuit testimonies were gradually corroborated by physical evidence found during subsequent expeditions. The only first-hand information on the expedition's progress is the two-part Victory Point note found in the aftermath on King William Island. Franklin's men spent the winter of 1845 and 1846 on Beechey Island, where 3 crew members died and were buried. After traveling down Peel Sound through the summer of 1846, Terror and Erebus became trapped in ice off King William Island, and are thought never to have sailed again. According to the second part of the Victory Point note, dated 25th April of 1848 and signed by Fitzjames and Crozier, the crew had wintered off King William Island in 1846 and 1847, and the winters of 1847 to 1848. Franklin had died on the 11th of June, 1847. The remaining crew had abandoned the ships and planned to walk over the island and across the sea ice towards the Back River on the Canadian mainland. In addition to Franklin, 8 further officers and 15 men had also died by this point. The Victory Point note is the last known communication of the expedition. From archaeological finds, it is believed that all of the remaining crew died on the subsequent 250-mile-long march to Back River. 30 or 40 men reached the northern coast of the mainland before dying, still hundreds of miles from the nearest outpost of Western civilization. Their fatal end would have been slow and painful, making death feel like mercy. Almost all Arctic and Antarctic explorers in the 19th century faced problems with poor nutrition and scurvy. Scurvy is a deficiency disease resulting from lack of vitamin C. Early symptoms of deficiency include weakness, fatigue, sore arms and legs. Without treatment, decreased red blood cells, gum disease, changes to hair, and bleeding from the skin may occur. As scurvy worsens, there can be poor wound healing, personality changes, and finally death from infection or bleeding. One sailor and explorer said, quote, "The symptoms of scurvy do not necessarily occur in a regular order, but generally the first sign is an inflamed, swollen condition of the gums. The whitish pink tinge next to the teeth is replaced by an angry red. As the disease gains ground, the gums become more spongy and turn to a purplish color. The teeth become loose and the gums sore. Spots appear on the legs and pain is felt in old wounds and bruises. Later, from a slight oedema, the legs and then the arms swell to a great size and become blackened behind the joints. After this, the patient is soon incapacitated, and the last horrible stages of the disease set in, from which death is a merciful release." End quote. Breakthrough for answers about Franklin's doomed expedition came more than 150 years after the expedition's departure. In 2014, Parks Canada discovered HMS Erebus, and in 2016, they discovered HMS Terror. These discoveries were monumental, offering tangible connections to the lost expedition. Artifacts recovered from the ships and surrounding areas have provided unprecedented insights into the crew's final months. Underwater archaeological investigations revealed remarkable preservation. Personal items, scientific instruments, and ship components told a story of preparation, hope, and ultimately tragedy. The ships showed signs of significant modification and damage, suggesting the crew's desperate attempts to escape their icy prison. The expedition's legacy extends far beyond its tragic outcome. It represents a pivotal moment in maritime exploration, scientific understanding, and human endurance. The Northwest Passage would eventually be navigated, though not by Franklin's expedition. The lessons learned from their journey informed subsequent Arctic explorations and significantly advanced understanding of survival in extreme environments. Perhaps most profoundly, the Franklin expedition embodies the complex interplay between human ambition and the natural world. It reminds us that exploration is never just about reaching a destination, but about the extraordinary human capacity to confront the unknown, to persist in the face of overwhelming challenges. Today, the story of Franklin's expedition continues to fascinate historians, scientists, and the public. It stands as a poignant reminder of the thin line between heroism and hubris, between scientific progress and human vulnerability. The mystery of what exactly happened to those 129 men remains only partially solved, a testament to the enduring enigma of this remarkable journey. Thanks for watching today's video on this devastating but important historical event. If you found this informative, please hit that like button and subscribe for more historical deep dives, and let me know in the comments what other overlooked historical events you'd like to learn about. Until next time, this has been Deadliest Disasters.